Hey, how's it going? It's Craig. We're out in the garage, and today we've got a broken switch to take a look at. Let's take a look. Okay, so I'm full up with hay fever. You can probably see by the state of my eyes and everything else, and I'm just so blocked up at the moment. So there may be a couple of cuts in here where I'm sneezing and other things. So please bear that in mind when you see this edit. If it's jump cutted all over the place, it's probably because I'm sniffling, blowing my nose and everything else. The other thing I want to point out is my amazing new t-shirts. My brother-in-law made this for me. Thank you so much, Spencer. He's made me a mug in the past, which is down here. It's got all my tools and things in there. I can't use it as a mug anymore because somebody managed to drop it in the house and snap the handle off. So it's now a storage pot, and I use that for quite a few of my mugs. I've got an arcade club mug and things like that, and I store like my tools for soldering and things in them. So I don't mind that at all. So that's pretty cool. So we've had this dropped off. So this has been a drop off from a friend of ours. I won't go into the detail around it, but thank you so much if you're watching this for dropping this over. It's had a bit of a tough life. I'll show you quickly on here, then we'll go to the overhead camera and have a proper look. But it's got a scratch digitizer. That's not the worst problem. I believe the LCD underneath it is smashed as well. The Joy-Con has been ripped off. The rail is still attached to that Joy-Con there, and the plastic stand for the back, which covers the memory card, is also been taken off. It's a Pikachu and Eevee edition switch, so it's a nice switch actually. I think switch, if you've got the fully working discounted in CEX, I think they trade in for about 180, I think. But that, I don't know whether that has to have the limited edition dock, because this comes with a dock with the Pikachu and Eevee on it as well. All I've got is these. You can buy the Joy-Con extenders, I think they're called, whatever they are, the piece with the LNR on the top of them, which match the Pikachu and Eevee colours, because they're different to the normal ones. You can get them online, so if I want to get them in the future I could. I don't know what I'm going to do with this in the end. We've got a switch in the house, but my switch is mainly for the main TV, so maybe we'll keep this as a second one, but let's see what we do with it. Let's make sure we can get it up and running first. So what we'll do is we'll switch to the overhead camera in a sec, have a look at it on the desk, see where the issues are. I might connect it into the TV as well in the house, just to see if it's working on a TV, because if it's just all the screens and everything smashed, and it works on a TV, then we can replace the screens. But if it's more than that and the motherboard's broken, then obviously we're going to have a look into that as well. Yeah, I'm really excited to work on this. What I'll also do is probably, because this is going to be a part 1 or 2, I don't have any parts here, I don't even know what parts to order yet. I've got a bit of an idea, but I haven't got a full list in my head at the moment. What we'll do is we'll have a look at some of the suppliers I use as well, see if we can get all the parts, do an order, and then when the parts come in, we'll do a part 2, fixing it all up, and hopefully have it up and running. Cool, catch you in a sec. Okay, so here we have it. This is the switch. As you can see, it's pretty beaten up. There's scratches everywhere on this digitizer. The rail on this is broken, so if I press in the release button, I could probably slide it off yet. So the rail's broken, and that's not going to go back on. That's not going to go back on easy, because that's got all the plastic pieces snapped off the actual frame, and there should be a ribbon cable from around here somewhere. I can't even see where it comes from. But this, I think it's that area there. They must connect to the ribbon cable, connect into the system itself. So that should be on the end of here, like that, built into the system. But as you can see, it's going to be hard to show it on camera, because it's quite a small area to look at, and it's going to be dark on this main camera. So basically what I'm going to have to do is order another side rail. We're going to have to take these bits of plastic off and try and glue them back into place once we've got this shell apart, just so we've got something for the screws to go back into once it's been repaired. that's one piece. That Joy-Con is in pretty mint condition actually. It's got nothing visually wrong with it. I don't know whether it's working on it. I haven't tested on another Switch yet, but other than the rail being snapped off, that one looks pretty okay. We've got this piece, which is from the back. Let's see if we can get a bit of a close-up of the back and things for you as well. So if I can get it to shine in the light a bit, this has got like a painted effect or an etched effect of the Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee on there. It's quite a subtle effect. It's quite nice actually the way they've done it. So this is a limited edition Switch Pikachu and Eevee edition. This is meant to clip into here. Like I can push it back into place and it sits there, but as soon as you lift it, it's going to pop back off. It's not going to stay on. So we need to find out how that latches on as well and what's been snapped on that one. Maybe a bit of glue on this. Looks like a screw or something. So we're going to need to do that as well. So that's part number 2. These are, I don't know how big a job that is. I don't think that's a big job. Hopefully we can buy a new rail and get that in. This Joy-Con, absolutely fine. Even got power by the look of it, which is cool. And the JoyCon Rail is fine too, so no issues with that at all. Let's switch him on a second so you can see what happens. And you just literally get that. So I'll show you quickly on the overhead camera. So I've got a block around here, which is just smashed a bit on the main LCD. If I press it in, you can see the colours coming through and things on there. So not only is the... Oh, I can hear it beeping a thing. So it's switching on and it's actually doing something. Let's turn him up. Oh, that's a good sign. So the digitizer's working. I know this switch is working now. That's good. I was going to connect it to my TV just to test it out and things, just to make sure it's working. But I know it's working because I can hear it. So I don't really need to connect it into the TV right now. There's no game in there. No game in there at the moment. So it's not going to launch anything unless there's anything installed locally. Oh, I've done something now. Oh. Okay, I'm not going to press too many things. I don't know what I'm doing. It wouldn't be connected to my Wi-Fi anyway, so it'd only be doing stuff locally. But as you can see, that screen is totally wrecked underneath there. So parts I think I'm going to need to order are new digitizer. You can get plastic or you can get a glass digitizer. These are plastic as a default. The glass ones obviously have their benefits of less scratching, but they are obviously more prone to being broken. The screen underneath, the LCD screen, we're going to need to replace that too. From memory, I think when I've looked at these in the past, I think the digitizer and the screen, I think you can get them for about £40 from China, a little bit more in the UK. I'll probably go with a UK order just because I want to get it sooner, and I want to make sure that the quality of the screen and everything is good. So I've got a couple of places I use in the UK that I'll have a look at. One place in particular that I know will do all the parts and it'll be a single order, so I'll have a look at that. So yeah, we're going to need a rail for the one end, for the right hand side, a digitizer and a screen, and then we're done. I think it's going to be a bit of time to take it apart and everything else. I'm not going to do that in this video. This video is just to show you exactly what we've got. The condition on it, it does look, well, I can show it there. I'm not sure whether it's totally flat. It looks like it's being bent. I don't know whether it's being smashed across somebody's knee or something. I wonder if I can put this on something flat and see if it rocks. I don't know. It doesn't look totally flat. I don't want to risk trying to flatten it out, if I'm totally honest. I know it's working. I know it's up and running because we can hear it, but obviously we'll get these parts repaired on it first. There is a bit of play in it. I don't want to do too much. Look at that, the screen is just giving off all kinds of colours. Okay, let's cut across to the laptop. I'll do a little bit of recording on the laptop, just show you the parts I'm going to order. Once I've ordered those parts, I'll do a part 2 and we will pick up my dog's coming in and started crying. Sky. Shh. So let's cut across to the laptop and we'll catch up in a sec. Cool. Okay, so let's have a look at replace space. So this is where personally, I think if you're in the UK and you need things for console-based systems, mobile phones, laptops, drones, etc., then Replace Base is pretty good. So this isn't sponsored. I have got a trade account with them, so the prices you'll see on my account are probably slightly different to retail, but not by much. It's about, I don't know, 5-10% discount, I think, having a trade account. If you're a sole trader and you're repairing anything or working on systems, then they're pretty straightforward to getting a trade account. So if you want to do that, have a look on their website and contact them. But under game console on here, you can go to Nintendo Switch parts. I've already just been through it quickly to put all the parts into my basket. But you can see that they pretty much have everything in here. They've got the screws, they've got pretty much cartridge replacements and things. So they've got everything in here to pretty much, other than the motherboard, I'd imagine, to build a Switch yourself from parts. So yeah, so there's a lot of parts in here that you can rebuild. There's even tools and things in here, but I've got most of these things anyway. So I've been through this already just to have a quick look, see what we needed. These are the things I mentioned earlier. So because this is a Pikachu and Eevee version of the Switch, they have different colour wrist straps. So I think it's this dark brown, and I think it's like a whitey colour like that one. So I might order them in the future. I'm not worried about it at the moment, but I might order them just so I've got it complete in the future. You can buy a dock on here as well. I'm just going to use my other dock because it's so expensive for an official dock, $47.93. It's a ridiculous amount of money, and that's trade price as well. Not that Replace Base are out of the ordinary on that, it's just that docks are just really expensive. You can get third-party ones, they probably got them on here, but a lot cheaper. So yeah, we'll have a look at whether I want to buy a dock in the future. I'll just charge it and use my main dock in the living room for if I want to use it on screen anyway. So that's all the parts in here. I'll show you what's in my basket so far. So I've ordered, or will be ordering, a digitizer, glass panel digitizer. I believe it's glass. Let's have a look. Oh, well done. As I mentioned, the original ones are plastic, and I think this is a glass one, so it's a little bit more delicate, but obviously it doesn't smudge or scratch as easy. It doesn't come with the adhesive bonding, which we'll have a look in a second. Yeah, it's got a limited lifetime warranty, so I don't know whether that includes being broken in the future, but yeah, so this is just the digitizer screen on top. Let's have a look what else we've got in the cart. Doesn't say too much around whether it's actually glass or whether it's a plastic one. That's the double-sided adhesive, so this sticks that digitizer back onto your Switch once it's repaired. I've got a pack of spudgers and a pack of triangle pry tools because I've snapped all of my spudgers. I need to buy them every now and then just because they're good. I think I snapped about 3 of them doing the Evercade, just because I didn't unscrew it and I was just trying to pry things open. I ended up snapping them, and they bend, and you can see the stresses on the plastic of them. So it's always good to have a couple of these parts available, and as you can see, it's about £3 for the 2 of them, just over. So it's not exactly an expensive cost, but if you're working on consoles, highly recommend getting some of these. There are some other fancy tools you can buy, but the basic ones do the job. The LCD replacement screen, so it's about £31.23 on a trade account. And then the side rail, £6.22. So let's have a look at that screen first of all. So this is just your LCD replacement screen. It's got 2 ribbon cables, I believe, on there to connect back in, which you've got to tuck in through the case when you're doing it. So these 2 ribbon cables got to go back in through the shell. It's a Replace Base screen, so at least you know with the quality on these things that it should be pretty good. You're buying from a decent reputable supplier of parts. It's not going to have a low quality screen, because that's the last thing you want is on a nice console like a Switch. You don't want a really crappy screen. So this is a good replacement screen for the LCD, so we're going to get that one in. And then the last part was that JoyCon Rail, which we'll have a look at now. I'm still so full up of hay fever, it's killing me. So this rail, as I said earlier, There you go. So this part is totally missing off mine. I don't know whether it's snapped off and it's still part of the console, whether it can clip back on, but we're going to get a new rail regardless, because on the back of the rail there's all the bits of plastic that have been snapped off. If this ribbon cable is no doubt either broken, or this part here is certainly broken on the one that we've got at the moment, so it's going to need a new rail to be fitted. So it's a right hand side rail, which is good because I think the left hand side rail is a little bit more fiddly. It's got a longer ribbon cable on it, which goes to other areas of the system. So yeah, I'm going to get that ordered as well. This basically, the connection between the rail and there tells it whether it's the Joy-Con's connected to the system, but it also does the charging and things for it. So £6.22, again including VAT. That's the trade price, so it's probably about £7-8 retail. So my total order, including those spudges and things, which are not just for this project, is £45.83. I'm going to go ahead, do that order. I'll get the parts through the next couple of days, and then we'll do a follow-up video in a couple of days' time, fixing it hopefully. Cool, let's go back and do a quick wrap-up. Okay, so there we have it, about £45 to hopefully get this up and running. I'm pretty confident that it will. As I said, I can hear it running, I can hear it pressing and everything. So the digitizer is actually working. I probably could get away with keeping this digitizer, but it's so scratched that it's worth replacing it while we're doing the whole job anyway. £45 isn't bad for a Switch. This has actually been given to me by a friend of ours. We'll have a look at what we want to do with it. I don't mind passing it back to them if they want to cover the cost of the parts, and we'll sort that out. If not, it'll stay in the house as a second Switch. Basically, I think to trade these in, about 180 trade-in value at CEX as a discounted one. I don't know whether you have to have the original dock and the wrist straps for the Joy-Cons to do that, but it's not a bad value, and that's what I mean. These kinds of things, it's going to cost me about £45 in those parts to fix it. So this, if I was to buy this on eBay, I reckon I'd probably have spent about £100 on it, and then £45 to fix. You've got the risk whether it's going to work or not. You've got to be really into it to do that, especially because it's a Pokemon and Eevee edition. It's a limited edition version of the Switch. So yeah, so we're not going to be able to do too much more in this video. Thank you for watching so far. Please subscribe to the channel if it's the first time you've seen this and you're interested to see whether we can get it up and running. Give us a subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to ring the bell and all those types of things, because I don't do that on most channels, if I'm totally honest, because I get so many notifications. I subscribe to so many channels as it is. So if you want to subscribe, really grateful for that. It'll give you obviously a notification, or you'll see it in your feed when I get onto fixing this. So yeah, cool, thank you for that, and I'll catch you soon.